Good day, everyone. We are the Group 2 of 11 STEMB, and today we will be presenting the differences of quantitative and qualitative research. Today, we will be discussing them in their aims, general methods, sample size, and finally the roles of the researcher. So, without further ado, let's go to the aims of research.
The difference between qualitative and quantitative research in terms of their aim. Qualitative research primarily aims to gain a deeper understanding of a specific organization or event or a subject at hand, rather than a surface-level description. When interviewing in qualitative research, the researcher needs to try to put themselves in the shoes of the interviewee so that they can get the most reliable specific data that the interviewee implies from their specific point of view. Qualitative research creates or develops new theories along the way, as sometimes they need to look at it in a different way to explore beyond the surface level of the data. Meanwhile, quantitative research, quanti means how many, or basically about numbers, is to prove the hypothesis. So, for example, a researcher is trying to test plants. So the researcher needs to grow them into two different variables, and in the end, needs to prove what is the better variable to grow the plant. Quantitative research tests new or pre-existing hypotheses or theories to collect data and confirm, as quantitative research relies on data that are observed or measured to examine questions about the sample population.
What are the general methods used in this research? In qualitative research, preference for narrative or description of procedure, preference for narrative description, preference for expert informant, preference for narrative summary of results, and unwillingness to tamper occurring phenomena. Otherwise, in quantitative research, preference for precisely describing procedure, data reduced to numerical score, preference for random sampling for obtaining meaning sample, preference for statistical summary of results, and number 5, willingness to manipulate aspect, situation, or condition in studying complex phenomena.
Hello. Before we get into the question, what is the difference in sample sizes of these types of research? Let us first define what sample size is. Sample size refers to selection of individuals, units, and/or settings that will be studied. So, what is the difference of quantitative research and qualitative research based on their sample size? Quantitative studies strives for random sampling. Small sample size is selected with a view to get a thorough understanding of the target concept, while in qualitative research or studies, they often use purposeful or criterion-based sampling. It relies on random sampling, wherein a large representative sample is chosen to extrapolate the results to the whole population. So that is the difference of quantitative and qualitative research based on their sample size. So let's get into the roles of researcher.
Hello, good evening. Hello teachers, hello classmates. The question is, what is the role of researcher? The researcher's duties include alignment methodologies with research goals, using a range of tools to acquire information and internet data, writing up reports and presenting findings, and schedules to management and others, like stakeholders, identify threats and patterns, and conducting a field work and tests with a report. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful insight, Mr. Banday, and I will just add a few more information. Quantitative researchers are called subjects while qualitative researchers are called participants. It is because that quantitative researchers cannot meddle with the gathered data whilst qualitative researchers are there with their experience.
Thank you for watching our presentation about the differences in quantitative and qualitative research. We hope you learned something from us. Once again, thank you and God bless.